Viele naravni gore na zvučne funkcije, da se sad...
Je to zadnje mi povlači?
Da. Automatski spaja.
It would be great to isolate the here. The facilities is much better.
Yeah, it's fairly new.
Yeah, it's really great. I'm totally jealous.
You should be. He's working here.
It's like the luxury of having this space, but also I love it very nice. So there everything is even more condensed, but yeah, it's great. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there's competition for these. Yes, I'm waiting for something to appear. Is there going to be something on this screen as well?
It depends if we are able to connect it without microphone.
Okay. Yeah, but I am taking photos.
Because I'm recording, so I cannot do it.
Did we get them to sign up?
Well, this is the same as
The same group.
I can ask if there is someone to sign on the Samo jedan napometan za hrvatsku grupu, kad ćete izlaziti, oni koji se niste potpisali, jer ste došli ovdje, niste bili dolje, onda molim da napravite, da mi je važno zbog projekta. Znači samo potpisati se da ste bili. Hvala.
Okay, I think that we can start.
Show the initiative and
Okay, yeah. Because with I3DA is every 2 years, and like we do at Bologna University, but there's really
So we are ready to go on with the lecture, with the practical part of the lecture. So I want to remove something.
we should exchange.
yeah, sure.
Why don't we do it now? Yeah. We say that and put it I'm having connection issues, so I just make a
You want me to take?
yeah, and I can give you
So,
I will share both screens, my private and...
can you hear me? So now I want to start with you also with the mounting of the equipment, because for me it's important to show you how we have to mount all the equipment for tomorrow, especially for tomorrow. So this is the reason why I asked them to wait instead of starting to mount, because it's important to do this together. Remember that this is the Egemine 64. You can see, you can also go closer if you want to give a look. Not now, but also later, when you prefer. Remember that this contains 64 channels. You can see several little circles inside. Each of these is a microphone. And on the top we have the camera, the ambient sensor. Now it's switched off, so it's not taking picture or anything else now, but it will switch off later. This microphone will work separately with the other equipment that we have together, because this is able to capture impulse responses with 64 channels, and that's a different protocol. And I will record directly to my computer. I will show you how it works, but this is another argument. The other method, called classical method, includes all the other equipment. So, the dummy head, the ambisonic microphone, and I will put in front of this also a monoaural microphone. This is the normal, so-called normal equipment. So we start now to mount this. I will start on my art for you, but you can give a look what I'm doing. I need a stand. I will put, normally we put in the same position, more or less the same position of this microphone, because when we want to analyze the results, we want to avoid any bias because there are differences in the position of the microphone. Because you know that the theory says that at one point we have one impulse response. If I move, even if 1 millimeter, we should have theoretically different impulse responses. The differences are not very big, are very, very small. But from a theoretical point of view, it was from one point to another point in the space. So I agree with you when I told you that when we are able to measure or calculate the impulse response, we have everything, every kind of information. But if we change the position of the microphone or the loudspeaker, we have a different set of impulse responses. So we must be sure that the position of the microphone is as close as possible. In the meantime, we also need to avoid some particular effects, because if I put the dummy head so close to the microphone, it has like a shadowing. So it's not a good idea to put the dummy head in this part. It's better to put below, because otherwise, also the dummy head will measure something wrong because it has an obstacle very close to the ears. But it's much more important that this microphone, we have a shadowing from the dummy head, so what is measuring is not correct. So this is already mounted here. We must pay attention to the direction, but we set up in the past this because all the channels has a particular rule, so the direction are very well defined. So we can't move, because if we move something, we will lose all the proper reconstruction of the environment. So it's very important that we must set, now there is some scotch in front, but it must set exactly perpendicular to this direction. So now I'm sure that is correct position. If I turn, I will get a wrong result. So this is important for me, please. Okay? This is the position, as I told you, of the camera. It's not so close, but it should be the same position. So it's difficult to find a proper position because very close, but also far because it will influence the sound field. So this is what we believe was a good compromise. Now I have to mount here the so-called analogic system, because everything here will be recorded in a separate recorded soundboard. So now I have to length here these legs. Let me see if the position should be almost okay. Yes, I will also iron this one. So you can see that more or less we can also increase this. Remember that normally we have also to take another decision if we want to follow strictly the standard, the ISO 3382, or not. Why? Because this is not standard. This is a research. This is standard. This is a research because in the standard, of course, they never will mention this kind of microphone because this is also expensive. This is more or less 12 or 13,000 euros, this one, only the microphone. So you can imagine the number of people cannot buy this microphone for making normal measurement, only for research. But also the other equipment is not very cheap, but it's almost normal. Let me see. So let me check if, because I think that maybe some leg has different angles. I have to open properly, but I think that one is shorter. Oh yeah, it was shorter, now it's okay. I need to mount the dummy head here to strengthen this. Okay, it's not moving. The dummy head, I know that will be in this position because here there is, we took off a part of this for the cables. So now I put here, I will mount the dummy head. This is the dummy head. Normally, I start mounting the dummy head without the microphone. So now I prefer to dismount the microphone and to do exactly what we will do tomorrow. Because before leaving this room, we have also to dismount everything. It takes time. It takes time. It's not so easy to do this in short time. So I'm unscrewing this. I put here, pay attention, being careful. Then I have to screw this one. Here this is the position. So I have to find exactly where it has to be screwed. Normally you have two people to do this because it's better to stand the dummy head and to turn this one instead of what I'm doing now. It's not very good to do it this way. Somebody want to help me, by the way, Luca? So I will stand this and you turn this and switch this. Turn. Fine. No, I think that okay, try. Fine. It's quite better to do this instead of turning the dummy head. Now fix. This is Luke, our research fellow. By the way, so I can listen to you some people what he does. Now it's okay, the dummy head is mounted. We will mount on the top this for handle the microphone. We have to screw. And then we put on the top the microphone. This is an ambisonic microphone. This is the Sennheiser Ambeo. You can see on several websites also the characteristics of the microphone. This is the Neumann QU100. This microphone is maybe 25 years old. It's not a new microphone, but still quite expensive because I found that nowadays it costs 9,000 euros. I don't know why it's increasing instead of lowering the price. So this is 9,000. This is 12 or 13,000. This is the Ambeo should be 1,300, something like that, or 400. You have to mount here. There are several positions, several standards. Normally we use it because we can put also in front this way, but normally one standard is to put it this way. So we have to pay attention that also it's important to maintain the proper direction because otherwise you have seen inside there are 4 channels. I want to unscrew again so at least people very close to me can see the capsule. You can see 4 channels. You can also, if pay attention, to give a look in the meantime if you want. You can see the 4 tetrahedral shape. This is the so-called A-format system. Because maybe Mark, you will talk about this in May. This is the recording, the A-format recording in tetrahedral way. We have to transform from A-format to B-format by means of some plugin, USB plugin, something like that. And when we have, but Marco, I think that will be speaking next lecture, when we have the B-format input responsive, we have a W input responsive that is like an omnidirectional microphone. When one from the frontal side, one from the left side, from frontal is the X axis, epsilon from the left, zeta from the top. Okay, you will show you in May. Okay. So this is the ambisonic microphone. Normally we put it this way and we will be able to calculate the B-format input responses, and by combining together the W, the omnidirectional, and the left, the lateral, we can calculate lateral fluctuation, lateral efficiency. I remember that we had a talk with Luca some days ago. There are plugins for doing this, it's not a problem, I will show you. Okay. And this is important that it must, another aspect, I have to turn this one by the way now. Another aspect is that this should be parallel to this one. We must point parallel. The dummy head should look with the nose, with the eyes, to the sound sources. So now it's a little bit difficult for me because this should be here, this should be here. It's not very comfortable for us. Because normally, when we make the measurement in the theater, these are looking to the sound sources, to the stage in the theater. Now, There is not a stage. We should, to make a proper measurement, to put the loudspeaker maybe close to the piano. I think that should be the best solution for us. So all the equipment will look at the sound sources. So I will turn this in order to have all the microphone looking toward the sound sources. So can you move be careful. Maybe it's better to move the stand and then to put over the stand the loudspeaker. Otherwise, it will make some accident. What? Yes, close to the piano. Maybe yes. Maybe here it's better to move a little bit because when we are going to play it's louder. It's very loud. So okay, thank you. Now I will screw again. I be careful not to then make damage to the memory. Then this must be for you. This part, C9 0 must be set on the top. You cannot turn. So remember that this is important because everything must be pointed correctly. So this is the position, and this should be the exact condition. So this dummy head must put a little bit closer to the piano. But I have also the cable extension. Should be the cable there, the cable extension, not close. So this must point to the sound sources, the dummy head, and this must be parallel to this one, this axis. Okay. Now we have to screw all the cables, but there is also still one microphone missing. The most important, most basic, and most cheap microphone, and only one mono-aural microphone for measuring all the normal parameters described in the standard ISO 3382. So all the reverberation time, T10, T15, T20, T30, ADT, LDK time, all the other energetic parameters, clarity, C50, C80, center time, all these normal parameters that we normally use for room acoustics. And I need to put one mono aural microphone in front of this. So I have everything in my bag. So I need to take from here the material. Here I have this low-cost microphone because this is 70 euros. Nothing. This is a cable that we use for the other. I have some scotch. I have a normal XLR cable. This is too long. I have to buy another shorter in the footer because it's 10 meters. This is only 1 meter. This is what I have. Then I put something in front. I like the lot. This equipment is very old, but it works perfectly. So this is not what I need. I need this one and this other. Yes. Can you see? Because I need to put something in front. So, for example, I can try with this or this other because in the past I tried both. I will fix here. Okay. And here I will put the microphone. The only thing, I want to try the other one because it's a little bit heavy, this one. Maybe this is better, this is short. Let me try with this. Yes, this is short, and maybe it's better because it's short, more stable. Because you know, the longer is this one, the less is stable. So it's better to have a short. So for recording, thank you, Luca. Before mounting the microphone, I will use the recorder. So this is the Zoom F8. Also, this is 8 years old, it's not very new. But I like a lot this because, first of all, it has 8 analogic input, XLR input, so balanced input. Normally, I hand here this. I put the power, so the power is here. One important aspect for everyone. Pay attention when you are unmounting everything and package everything because otherwise you can't find the equipment. This is a very important rule. For me, it's a mandatory, it's very important, because if you put in a hurry all the material, you are not able to find anything, and you are broken, you will break immediately some equipment. So it's very important to put everything exactly how you found the material and the equipment. So for example, you can see I pay a lot of attention to do this. Then I have to plug on the back here. Then I need the cable extension because I need the plug now. Because otherwise, this is recording and also giving power to all the equipment. So it's consuming a lot of electricity power. So it's not working only with battery. It has also the possibility to work with battery, but it's not enough. So it's better for me to use the plug, so I'm sure that it will be able to record everything. So we need the cable extension, yes, one of these, and the adapter, because we have Italian plug. But we have, because you know the sugar, so I have maybe I have several sugar, maybe also here, because I know that. Look, I have several. Take one of these. Yes. Tomorrow we will use a lot of cable extension because we need to put all the marks in several positions. Now here, then I will plug in the cable extension. Did you plug? Yes. Okay. So I will switch on the zoom, but now we have mounted the microphone, but they are not connections, so we need to put on the cable to connect to the zoom. So I need from the Sennheiser, this is the original cable of the Sennheiser. Here this is very important because there is a scheme in which you know how to connect all the cables, because I showed you before there are 4 channels, 4 capsules inside. And so it's perfectly written, channel 1, channel 2, channel 3, channel 4, you can give a look here. Channel 1, channel, this is, I don't see because I don't, this is channel 1, this is channel 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, because I never remember the color, I don't know, I try several times to remember, but I never remember. So, I need this cable. This is particular cable because it has 4 channels inside, so several pins inside. You have to screw here. When you screw, pay attention because you have not to first of all to fix, and then finally to screw. This is a mistake that sometimes happens. Then this will be shared into 4 channels. I want now to fix here. Because here we have 4 channels inside, but you have to split into 4 different channels inside the zoom. So this is the cable. No, this is a broken one. This is from 1 to 4, because here we have several pins. We have only the normal 3 pins for each channel, for XLR channels. So now we have to screw here again. Before all, you have to find exactly how to go in and then turn. Okay, so please tell me the number. Yellow is number 1, is correct? So you have to give a look here to find where is number 1. Number 1 is here. 1. No. 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, you know the XLR, you have to turn until you find the exact position and then you push. Number 2 is number red. Red. Okay. Number 3, blue. And number 4, green. Okay. So this is okay for the umbrella. Then we need to connect the other channel for the dummy head. So this is okay. I will put it here. We don't need any more of this, so before getting lost the material, I will load the original bag, and this is here. Okay. Dummy head, what is the case? Okay, this one is the case for the dummy head. Also here you have to pay attention in order not to lose any material or cables. So you can imagine if you travel abroad, if you have lost one cable, you can't make the measurements. Sorry. You're traveling maybe 10,000 kilometers from your country, you get there, you are a cable missing. So you have to ask, do you have a cable? But if you are looking for a very normal XLR, is okay. If you are looking for this cable, you can't find immediately. You have to buy in the website, to wait 10 days. So it's very important not to make confusion. For example, here I have the cable for the dummy head. So the dummy head, I told you before, has two different microphones inside the pin. Maybe then you can also work here. You can see exactly inside. There are two microphones. Here there are several possibilities for the output. We use the XLR output, but at the beginning, the two channels are in only one plug. And then we will share the two channels here. So, this is what I have to plug below the dummy head. You have seen that this cavity just for the keyboard. Okay. And then we have to plug left and right channel. Remember the rule. The rule is that red is like right. So this will be right. Red, right. This could have different color. Now is yellow. Could be also, I don't know. But red means always right. So if you have a stereo file, the upper is left, the lower is right. So it means that this must be channel 6 and this must be channel 5. So I have to go to the other side of the zoom. I will have to look with each 5 and 6. This is 6. And now I have connected here 6 channels. The only missing is the most common channel. Maybe I have to lower a little bit because let me see. No, okay. Because the macro is going here, maybe it's better to put in this way. Then the normal mono hour microphone is this one, very cheap. You see, a Behringer, very cheap. This is mono hour, so we need only a very simple XLR channel. Normally, I screw before and then I put there. I leave all this cable and I put here. This is what I normally do. I unscrew. Okay. This is all. All the equipment now is ready to make the measurement. So the microphone is connected. By the way, it's better to put it horizontal position, so I have to unscrew to move a little bit because the gravity will try to move from the horizontal plane. Okay. The dummy head is connected and the mono microphone is connected. So I need to switch on the zoom, but I need my bag. Where is my bag? Here. Because why I like the zoom effect? Because I can use my laptop, my iPad to connect and to control remotely the zoom. This is very useful. I like it a lot because instead of being close to the zoom, you use this like a controller. It's very nice. So I switch on my tablet. Okay. Now I switch on the zoom. There is a cable. You have to push a button here. Zoom. You can see here that this starts switching on. You have to pair because this is working with Bluetooth. To pair this with this one. I remember that here. Remember the date. Okay. So for pairing, there is a combination. You have to push one button. This one.
then to turn. I forgot to, yes, thank you. And then push, I forgot to connect the bearing, I don't know our microphone, because I was speaking but not connected. So, now, okay, I open the app and I will connect also the, where is the app? This is the app of this room. Connect, you can see directly what happens here, the level. Now, Luca told me that I forgot to connect the channel number 7, that is the channel for the mono-aural microphone. Now I connect it, okay. Now you can see everything. Can you see? Normally, I remember that we set the level of the dummy category low. You can increase the level. And this you can see 7 channels. The 8 is empty, so this is nothing. The 8 you can see something. So this is working. So to get the measurement, you only need to record. So I will play some signal. You will record, and you get the raw data. So the output. You remember. I want also to use my PowerPoint to show you what we are going to do now. We are obtaining the so-called raw data. So data that need to be post-processed in order to calculate the input responses. So you can use this. Remember, if there is the I don't remember. So the password is can you write? So you can use because the screensaver. With the screensaver, they have to tell you the verità. So write the password for the screensaver. 0608. Yes. Let me try. So let me try again. So I want that to be sure. Try 02 06 08. Okay. So zoom F8. S1 is already connected. Fantastic. So this is ready. Now we need to prepare the dummy head. The loudspeaker is behind you on the other side. So for this, I never seen so many people working with me. So we need to give power to this. For giving power to this, we need first of all to give energy, so electricity. You push and turn, so this is locked. Now we need to connect to some plug there. Now I understand why you want to put there, because I understand, but maybe it's enough. Yeah, this is enough. Okay. This is connected. Remember that when we switch on, please, because I have only 2 air protection, do like this, because at the beginning I will play just a very short pink noise. Then the possibility that I want to use is to use an external signal. It is the simplest possibility for playing the signal that we are going to play there. I will use a normal wave player, so an old mobile phone. I recorded the exponential sine sweep here. I will play, and we go for 2 hours. I will repeat in loop for 2 hours. So it's very easy for me because I don't need to play, to stop, play, stop, play, stop. I will only use the remote controller of the loudspeaker for play and stop. This one. This is the remote controller of the loudspeaker. But this we do for the last time. So now we have to complete the equipment for the Egen mic. So for the Egen mic, there are several possibilities, but the best solution for us will be to use the external power of, what is the power? Power of over Ethernet, yes. Power over Ethernet. So I have here, where is the bag? I have another here. This is the power, so more or less it's like a battery, more or less. But it's not a particular kind of battery. But I need to connect So here again I need the power. So this is also what it works for 1 hour and a half. So I don't need the power, I have to say. But I prefer to use this because normally it works with the battery when I'm unplugging the electricity. So I prefer to use also with the power, with electricity. Because otherwise if it is switch off, so you have problem, you are wondering what happened, it switched because of the battery. So if possible, I will use this. Okay, so now I have to put this here for the moment. Now we have to connect the microphone to the computer, because I told you this is an analogic system, so everything will be stored in the SD card here, because the Zoom F8 is 8 years old. So it's not a new recording system, very old, or very old. It was perfect, but it's not new. So all the waveform will be stored in the SD card. So you have after to copy by an adapter from the SD to the computer and then to post-process. This is restored directly the sound in the computer. And it works with the Dante protocol. So it means that all the data are traveling with the Ethernet cable like this. This is the cable of the arm that I suppose have lost in Romania, but I found. It was very difficult for me because last week I was in Romania with measuring 4 different theaters, and I was working together alone. Only one colleague of mine, but not an electrician, helped me for the first 3 theaters. You can imagine to bring all this equipment in the airplane, low-cost company, by the way. I was a little bit worried. But everything works, so I'm very happy for this. So now we don't need to remove all these.
Do you need systems?
No, I don't think, because I don't want to remove now. We will remove tomorrow because it's not. Yeah, I only need to go there, so it's not problem. So where is my computer? There, okay. You can remove this. I put this here, and I think that it's better for me to leave in that part because I don't need. So this is short, but it's enough for going from there to the point. The point, if I put here, it would be enough. Let me see. No, ma I want to avoid to use the cheese sauce. Basta un pezzettino così. Qua. Let me see. Is enough? Yes, I think it was. Now I hope that there are no conflict between the 2 Ethernet cables, because I'm using the Ethernet cable for getting the access to internet, but also at the same time the Ethernet cable for all the data that are traveling from there. So now where is the point here? We need another cable. Where is here? This is the original case for the AMI microphone. The AMI is a company based in the USA. I don't remember the city, but this is only, I think that actually I'm very happy for this. So I need the cables. Let me see. I need the cable. I have to pick, this is a So now, as I told you, this should be here. You have 2 socks here. One had to go directly to the microphone, and the other one to the computer. So I will remove this, because this is paper stock, not a problem. I will put all this connected to the microphone. You can see that it takes time to prepare all the tube. It takes time. when we make the measurement, we are losing 1.5 hours only for preparing the equipment, because it takes time. And now you can remember, you can imagine when we have to move all this equipment to the last order of the theater. It's heavy, difficult to move, difficult to go to the stairs. Several theater has an elevator lift, so it's not very easy. It's not easy. Then another important point. Here there are two different socks, primary and secondary plug. I don't remember which is, but I remember they try to write. So normally, let me check, because I have to take all the time the picture because it's not so clear to see which is P and which is X. All the time take the picture. I try also to write with a pennarello, but it's not accuracy. If we are lucky, yes, we are lucky, because I remember correctly. Because if it is correct, you will see a LED here in front. Could you put on the LED? Maybe you can see the LED. Yes, flashing. You can see the LED flashing. So this means that it's correctly connected. So this is correctly connected to the POE. Then I need to connect the POE to my computer. And now, let me see if it is enough. Yes. Okay. Now it's connected. Everything is connected to the computer. Now, let me see if it works, because my only concern is that we have two Ethernet cables connected to my computer. I hope that they don't clash each other, but let me see. So, here we are. Hello to myself. I have to open Dante. So, first of all, I open Dante Virtual Sound Card. This is a plugin that you have to buy, otherwise it is not working. The system is not working, but the cost is 20, 30 euros.
No, I think it's like 70.
70. It was the optimistic point of view. So you can see that everything works, and you see also here, yes. So you know that I'm connected, I have IP address for my connection, so it works. Everything is working from here to there. Now I need to open the Dante controller. This is the Dante controller. And your version of install, not now. Did you check the last version of the Dante controller? No, you did check it. Okay, never mind. You have to check if everything is green. This is red, but now it's green. So it means that it is connected. Now, in order to be sure that it works, I open one. So we normally use login bidule, but you can also do another one. Bidule. In order to check and to prepare all the equipment, we prepared the past already one setting. I don't remember the name, but I remember that the last that I used was in Teorico. This one. So this is the setting from monitor. Yes. Can you see? It works. You can see the LED, the green LED. That means that we have the 64 channel connected. So if you want just to check, I can just tap one of these. You can see one LED going up. These are 64. Because remember, there are 64 channels. I want to tap this, for example. Where is this? It's in the middle, close to the my arrow, to the mouse. This, can you see this?
Yeah.
Because it's tapping, I want to tap another one. This is on the left, more or less 3/4 on the right side, and so on. This is on the top. This should be, and you see. So you can see different channels because every one of these. Oh, that is better. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. It's like a cinema, so that people start to see. You can see the different channels. It's very nice to see this. To do this. Let me see here. And by the way, also here you can see the LED. Blue, it means it works perfectly. So this is ready. So now we are ready to record with this. We are ready to record with the other, with the tablet. But we need to put signal. For putting signal, I told you that the easiest solution is to use a normal player. We develop also other possibility to make synchronize, but it's time consuming now. You see the reason why I don't want to avoid now to synchronize the three. So I will simply switch on very old mobile. I'm using only for this window, I'm not using anymore. And we only need to play the exponential sense sweep and to record the exponential sense sweep. So there was a cable, I don't know, here. Now, I told you, please cut your hair because I'm going to play just for a few seconds the pink noise. So please, in order to be sure also for the levels. But not now, wait just a few minutes. Not immediately, I mean, just wait a second. So I'll stay 1 minute there. Here. Here I have a waveform. I also need to charge the. Yes. I need to charge the battery. So, this is the signal. You can see from here. This is the scene in the live. But as soon as you do this, you can do this nothing. I need to put here. But before doing this, I put my air. Because I'm very close to the speaker. You are not so close to the speaker. Io spero sempre che non voglio evitare. So I'm switching on. Well, this is not.
Sorry. Excuse me. Do we need to press record here?
No, wait, no. There is no electricity here, maybe there is something. There is no power. Oh, no, okay. The power is here. So please, now is the time to close. Are you ready? Okay. You can take. So this was pink noise. Just to check the level. It's not a problem, the level is the most important one. Okay. Now I will start. Maybe I could also reduce the power here. Let me try. If you want again to. I will avoid because I want to hear. This is the signal that the video record. It's not so far. could increase a little bit. I think that for this room is enough because this is a small room. When we will be in the theater, in the concert hall, we have to louder the sound because otherwise it's too low. I can a little bit increase. Now I have increased it a little bit. If you can, if you loud, sure. Sure. I have it louder. Maybe it's too loud, too much. I will reduce a little bit. Let me try now. Yeah, too close. Yeah, no. Okay, so now I told you I have 2 hours for the signal. The signal is 15 seconds, the length of the signal. And then we'll follow 5 seconds of silence. So we have 15 seconds of signal, exponential sine sweep. The exponential sine sweep is like a pure tone moving from 40 to 20,000 hertz. Just a pure tone. But this is moving exponentially. It means that it's moving exactly like a musical scale, not linearly, because otherwise it's not similar to our perception of sound. So now we are going to record and everything is ready. I will tell you when to record. And for recording, you have to push 2 buttons. The first one is the classical red one to record. When I will tell you stop, please push the white square. Because when you push again the red, we start with another number. We proceed number 1, 2, 3, so. Okay, so the best solution is this one, from practical. That's because I want to be very practical, because tomorrow we need to solve this problem. So if you are coming tomorrow, are they coming tomorrow for the measurement?
Don't think so. We have
Nobody.
Some.
Some,
but
okay.
no.
The people that tomorrow come to make the measurement must be aware about this. For recording, for the tablet, you need to push the red one, and for stopping the square, the white square, and then red square. Now we are ready, and everything works. Now here I will lower the monitor, so I will see here all the settings. And here I can record, I push here. These are the last measurement in Bacău, in Romania. I will create a new folder in the, where is the Erasmus class? I can't see. Erasmus Plus. Here I will create a folder. Maybe, which is the name of this room?
339.
59.
339.
339.
Yeah.
Room, Music Academy.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to prepare the file. So normally I will call the file exactly like the name of the room. So 339 Music Academy, MA is enough, not too long for me. Now I'm ready, and the setting here is 32 floating point for bits and for the resolution, and 48 kilohertz for the sample rate. This is our standard. So everything is ready. When I push start, I will start recording. Okay. But before doing this, we have to synchronize more or less all the equipment. So normally I play the exponential sine sweep. When the sine sweep is close to the end, so very high frequency, we have 5 seconds. So normally I say, so it will be recorded in the waveform. Zagreb 339 room, or maybe tomorrow concert hall. I don't know. I have to think a very short sentence because it must be 3 or 4 seconds. So concert hall, small concert hall, Michael, too much, too long. So I have to say something. But this word will be recorded. So when we will process again with the post-process data, we will listen to my voice, you will hear my voice, so you will recognize which kind of measurement they are. Because otherwise it's very complicated to understand, was this the 339 rule or was another rule? It's impossible. If I say, you will record my voice, you will remember which is this measurement. This is mandatory. This is what I will do. So now I will play with this, the controller. There. When we are close to the end of the session, I will say 339 room. 339 room, point 1, I don't know. Then we need to take picture to remember the position of sound sources and the loudspeaker and the microphone. This is important. So, are you ready? You understand how it works? No, wait, I will tell you go. When I tell you go, you have to record. Now you have to play. Next one will be, because this is exactly the silence. Wait. Go. 339 room, Zagreb. Stop. Okay. So we made the measurement. Next time that you push the red one, it will start with a new number, because the number will be the 01. It's correct. Next one will be the 02. So now I made the measurement here. I want to open my file. So let me be because very capture. Okay. What technical is more than. Okay, so I record here where is the desktop, Erasmus Plus. This is the measurement and this is the waveforms. You can see the name of the file. This file, it looks like a mono file, but inside there are 64 channels. I will open with Adobe Vision, the old version. You can see it takes some time to open the file because it is opening 64 channels. And this file, we record only 20 seconds, is almost 300 kilohertz. So it's not so short, the file. Let me open. We are almost completed opening the file. Okay, this is the recording. This is the raw data. RAW data. We call raw data. Why? Because this is the output. I want to show you, because this is important to understand when we made the measurement. I want to open again my PowerPoint, because the only one picture that you need is the last one for my PowerPoint today. You need to see the last slide. This one. Now we have recorded the output from the room. So this is the room. The signal input was the sine wave from the loudspeaker. The output is what we recorded with the dummy head, the ambeo, the monaural microphone, and the egg mic. So, just to give you an idea, what did I play? Let me go back. What did I play? I played the exponential sine wave. So I played 48 mono 32 bit. I only played this signal. You think it too much? No, okay. So I played this signal. My question is, if I played this signal, did I record the same signal? No. Why? Because I recorded this one. This is not the same. Why is not the same? Because the signal was played through the loudspeaker, the impulse response to the loudspeaker. It means the frequency response to the loudspeaker. It was played inside the room that has its acoustics, and it was recorded by means of the microphone that has another frequency response. So this signal is completely different. Which is the difference? The difference is the impulse response. So this signal should be exactly the same of what I played, only if everything is completely flat. But this is different. It means that there are some effects on the room. How can we calculate the effect, the impulse response? The impulse response of everything, remember, not only of the room, because I play the signal. The signal was played by means of my mobile phone, and the output, the headphone output, has some frequency response. Was played through the cable that has some frequency response. Was played through the loudspeaker that has some frequency response. There was played inside the room that has his frequency response, that means impulse response. And then was recorded by means of the microphone that has, again, its frequency response. So we have several frequency responses. We must be sure that we are measuring only the frequency response of the room and not of the equipment. For this reason, we must have high quality of microphones, because otherwise we are mixing together the acoustics of the room with the acoustic of the equipment. This is a big mistake. We must have the best microphone that are existing in the world in order to be sure that we only measure the acoustic of the room and not the response of the microphone. You understand the meaning? This is important. Because otherwise we are mixing together, we don't know, we cannot separate what is the effect of the sound sources, the effect of the microphone, and the effect of the room. This should be. So now, how can I calculate the impulse responses? Give a look here. I have the output. This is what I have. This is the raw data, what I recorded. To obtain the input response, I need to convert with the inverse filter. The inverse filter is the signal that is the opposite of what I played. You can also imagine which kind of signal should be the opposite. If I play this, now you are playing with my computer. This is what I played. In your opinion, which should be the opposite? The reversed frequency response, more or less. Then there are other reasons for the shape, but more or less, from a theoretical point of view, if I put now this contour, this is the inverse filter, the opposite. If I convert the two signals, I got the input response. So I close this. I go, for example, to this one of the channels, because we have 64 channels. I want to use this one, okay. I will put here, then F, Aurora, convert with the clipboard. In the clipboard, I still have the inverse filter. When I convert the output with the inverse filter, you can see I convert the output with the inverse filter, I will obtain the impulse response. Now, okay, and this is the impulse response. This is the impulse response, one of the channels, of the 64 channel, and I can play. This is like a miracle, people tell me they might do it, because they say, how can you play like a pistol shot if you didn't play the pistol shot? Because they sound very similar. Now we are playing with my computer, so they can pay attention that it's not very low, this one. This is the impulse response that I played with my computer that we measured here. And now I have all the information, all the info about this room, everything. I know everything from theoretical point of view. because the theory says if you measure the impulse response, you know everything. This is the theory of system theory. This is one matter that if you go to university, to engineering school, you have to learn system theory. Theoria di sistema, I don't know in English or in Croatia how you call this argument. There will be teacher, professor, teaching you theory of system, linear time invariant system. They will teach you. This will give all the information, every kind of information. Whatever you want is inside the impulse response. So now you have the impulse response. And this is the impulse response. What can I do with this impulse response? I can calculate several acoustical parameters. I want to play a game. Very short. Very short. I can hear very short. So I'm sure that here, for example, the reverberation time should be, in my opinion, less than 0.5 seconds at middle frequencies. Let me see. Maybe also 0.4. Let me see. I will copy this in a new waveform. No. I have to put edit past new. Yes. You can see dial, sound, reflection, and so on. This is the initial part of the impulse response. You can see the reverberant tail. You can see that at the end of the waveform we have silent. So it means that I have properly windowed the waveforms. Because if I cut too early, you will be still some sound. Now, for example, here, I can calculate acoustical parameters. And this is the decay curve of the microphone. You can see. And ADT is a middle frequency 0.37. I told you that that's 0.5. This is 0.37. And also at 500 is 0.43 and so on. So less than 0.5. Why I was able to? Because I had some experience. I made several mentions, so I have an idea. I'm not saying the number exact because for chaos. No, I know because I made several mentions. I have an idea which should be the result. Remember that is not correct what I did now. Really, why? Because I'm using one channel from the 64-channel microphone array. I should make this calculus only by using the mono-arrow microphone in front of the dynamic pad. This is the correct way if you want to follow the ISO 3382 standard. This is the only way. You can also see other acoustical parameters. For example, T user, T10, T20, T30, clarity. By the way, this is another general rule. The lower is the reverberation time, the higher will be the clarity. This is general. Professor Giambrosio showed you several relations between strength and other parameters, volume. I liked a lot of that slide that we showed before. Here, this is a very basic link. Is the higher is clarity, the lower is the reverberation time, or the opposite. The lower is the reverberation time, higher is the clarity. And now you can see clarity very high value of maybe almost 9 decibel or 10 or 11 decibel, very high level. The clarity, it means the initial part, the energy in the initial part of the impulse response. Clarity 80, like this, it means the energy in the initial 80 milliseconds of the impulse response. So this is very good for speech. Very, very good for speech. Not really for music, but to dry, to deaf, just generally speaking. Okay, so this is what we have to do tomorrow, the measurement.
I have a question,
Okay.
if I may.
Okay, maybe.
What again is the ideal signal to noise ratio? That's part one of the question, and then part two, if you want to measure further distances, do you turn up your level?
You have to turn up the volume,
Yeah.
because the higher is the signal, the better is, but you have to avoid clipping. Very easy.
Yeah.
So this is what they had to do tomorrow. I think that, did you clip anything? Because I didn't mention, thank you Kobe for this question. I didn't ask you, what did you see in the tablet? Did you see green, yellow?
Lowered it, so it would be green, not red.
Green, okay, but it was also red or
It
not?
was red at one point. So
But
we
only-
know.
So if it's which one?
One mono.
One microphone. If it was red, it means that you had to lower the level because you are clean. Okay, I was here, I don't know. So remember that if you see red, you have to lower the level. So the answer for you, Kobe, is this one. You have to increase. You have to make your pay attention because you need to avoid distortion from the loudspeaker, first of all.
Right.
But I know that the speaker, you can also hear if there is some distortion. This is the reason why you should also listen to the sound coming from that. Because it's kind of making some clip, it means that it's distorting. But normally this is not distorting because we know that this level of my mobile is never distorting anything. The problem should be for the microphone, especially for the microphone, the analog microphone, because they are using the laptop that they can see. There was a mistake that sometimes happens. I remember, you know also Adriano, when we made some management last year, my colleague that helped me, he didn't pay attention to the level. So several microphones, several recordings were clipped.
Clips on.
If you clip, it means that instead of waveform like this, we have a square. Square waveform, you know from the theory, mathematical theory, you have all odd harmonic distortion. Odd is a disparate. Odd, yes. Odd, yes. Because we break it down odd is. Odd is, so first, third, fifth harmonic distortion. This happens if you have square instead of normal. Okay?
And how do you know, because sometimes the levels don't distort, but how do you know it's not distorting internally in the microphone? Because this, I think, has happened
The
to me
microphone has
with,
no problem for this, no.
No.
Because then in order, I think that is almost never mind. You mean your worry is that the clipping will be
Once I recorded the gong, and there was no it was for a music program, but there was no distortion on the levels. But then when I listened back to it later, it was in-ear microphones and they distorted in the microphones. So I couldn't see that they were distorting. But
These ones, we tried them up to 130 decibels and they didn't.
they're fine.
so they
Yeah.
never saturated. So there are no problem for this. Because they are very hard. This problem, you can have this problem if you have very large membrane microphone with high sensibility, the Nevertone, you remember the Nevertone, because the higher is the membrane, this is just electroacoustic. The higher is the membrane, the higher will be the sensibility, and so it's very easy to saturate. But this low membrane microphone are useful for soundscape, not for measurement.
Yeah.
If you want to record soundscape of birds or something, natural soundscape, you have to use very high sensibility microphone because you can see very, very low noises. So you have to take a compromise. If you want high level, you must have very hard membrane. If you want to record very low signal, the dynamic is different, so there are different characteristics of the microphone. This is a theory regarding microphones. So for this, for our purposes, there are no problem for the microphone to saturate the membrane. Because also you mentioned also one.
And what if you want to preserve the distance? So say you record the first impulse here, the second one, the third one.
Yes,
By the
you
time you
mean,
get there,
okay,
Yeah.
I understand your question. You mean how we can pay attention with the level we decrease with the distance.
Yeah.
For doing this, there are two possibilities. The first possibility is there are several, not only, more than two possibilities. One possibility is simply when you make the deconvolution, so the convolution with the inverse phase, then you have to set a level, because I didn't mention before, but when you make the convolution with the inverse filter, give a look now for another channel, effect, convolve, I can fix the level where it is, I can unflag this point. Can you see this point? Because this is full auto range and this automatically put to the maximum level in order to use all the dynamic of the 32 floating points waveform. If you want to maintain, you have to set one level, then never change this level, so you will got input response that the direct sound will decrease with the distance. This is important when you want to show the difference in level with the distance as we see this morning. This is what we have to do. So we can fix this. One other possibility, the other point is important, we were speaking together with Adriano some time ago, a couple of 1 year ago, 1 hour, not 1 day, 1 hour ago, is that another important point should be also to clock exactly the difference in time between the sound position and the microphone position. If you lock together the playback and the recording, I don't know in English how we can say.
Time of flight.
Time of flight, okay, exactly the same in Italian. So you can also understand the distance in which you make the measurement. This is another thing that we could do.
The sound system, the Dante system that we
Allow you to do
for
this, yes.
for the Eigenmic, we can actually use it to control sound output as well. So you can have one single block BDU session that controls both the signal and the recording of the signal. And so you get a complete chain of time of flight.
And this is very good, especially when you want to correlate your response with the distance.
Yeah.
It is important. So there are also this other possibility. We could take care of both. So the amplitude, but this is very easy because we will record everything. After recording, of course, if you want to calculate this, you have never to change any more the levels in any places. Because I told them, please now modify the gain in order not to saturate to clip. In order to maintain also this info, we need to make the measurement very close to the loudspeaker in order to use all the dynamics that we have available. Then when we move far from the loudspeaker, we know that the input response will go smaller, and so the energy will be maintained exactly. And when we deconvolve like this, we have to avoid the outer range. If we avoid, because otherwise we put on the full scale.
But what if when it's so far below the signal to noise ratio that you cannot?
No, there's no possibility.
Then
No.
yeah.
You have to change the loudspeaker. You very use the loudspeaker. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
This is a problem that we could have outside, for example, in the squares. So in the squares, we have two possibilities. You want to maintain the info about the amplitude, but this is very risky because if you are far, you have very low levels, so very difficult to go use the input responses. The other possibility is don't care about this, but using 32 floating point bits, you can have a lot of dynamics when you deconvolve. So you have good input response, but you lose the importance and the info about the amplitude. So
What we did for the Soundscape project, which was all outside measurement, was to have several different calibrated levels on the loudspeakers. So
this
you
is
know,
another possibility.
I'm very
yes.
far away, so I'm giving you 30 decibels more, and I have to.
You have
cut
to
down
change
everything.
and to record what are you doing, any kind of changes that you are doing. This is another possibility.
Thank you.
So there are several points we have to pay attention. So there is almost, we have 14 minutes because this time you're going on to market, you have to leave at 3.
Yeah,
So-
another class. There's another class after this one.
Yeah, we could do the flare demo maybe.
We could-
La mappetta colorata. Flares.
No, yes, oh yeah. Yeah, and I was forgetting one very interesting thing that we can do with the, I was forgetting, thank you Adriano. We need to take a picture, the 160, because we want to show you, now this is the measurement that I did. So in the future, I can give it to Christian or the measurement, you can calculate all the acoustical parameters of it. Also for mail if you want, whatever you want. So we have, but before all, we need to take a picture about the position of the sources and microphones. So, let me take a picture.
because we need to remember where are the positions. And then we use video switch on. This is very good. I was forgetting. Thank you. Because we want, I told you that we want to mount over 360 pictures, all the sound coming around the room. This is very nice. So, so please stand because we take a picture.
Everyone.
Not more.
If you want to be.
Okay. Now we need maybe you can we need to remove the camera for moving.
You can just download it from the phone and copy it from the phone.
Yes, but I have to connect my phone.
So I was working in a cave a
Like
long
if you go
time
into the gallery,
and so it gets very soft. But you cannot see the light. It's, it's really hard. And so I made notes, but we adjusted it so many times that at some point we lost complete track. And then we just went, okay, as loud as possible. But afterwards I couldn't use the ones far away because they were so weak that even, and when it got too noisy.
Adesso dove l'ha messa? Vedi, no. Vai, sta. Ho preso che se no se ci passa, mi piace. Poi non serve più metti quella sì, molto oggi è il 14, l'ultima sarà ben questa.
as teacher.
Okay.
Okay, but sounds great.
See, that's my problem, like, the R&A.
For what? For family?
If they're gonna introduce not related.
Actually, the cinema is not very easy in that way.
Okay, how
But
long is it?
buon divertimento, buon divertimento, o divertimento, or informal.
So you can see, if you know really Claire, you can see. Maybe the projector should be that noise.
Yeah.
But if you turn, if you can clap from there, you can see. You can see that from back, from the middle. It is very nice because you can see effectively that how it forms the system camera. So you can see the direction just because you see different sound. So this is in front and triangle on the other side and the other side. And there is the sound from the projector. You can see some sound, some noise there. Okay, we can smile. I think that is okay.
Okay, thank you.